3. Here we go. 115.
It's 115.
God, really? That's 15 years of curation.
Lord being
in
educated.
the business, not to mention the foundation of my education.
No.
So, what would you consider a collapsed price, percentage-wise?
Economic circumstances forcing the price downwards.
You're a fucking retard.
I hate you. I literally can't state how much.
Because you're wrong.
I can't state how much I hate you. Welcome back, Jay. Welcome back. I'm back on this week's video to save you, as per usual. Welcome back, everyone, to another Sharp Stories. Remember that, because you forgot the title of the series last week.
Chase.
I didn't hear you correct him.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 215 of the Sharp Real Estate Group. What's the title of this show?
We haven't come
We
up
don't
with
have a title.
I didn't hear you correct.
Sometimes you gotta just let people go out and do their thing, and nature will take its toll. So,
Okay.
he was left.
Like most of what you say, zero relevance to anything that, any point you're trying to get across. But anyway, tickle the balls on camera. What are you doing? Jesus. Anyway, interesting conversation for us to discuss today, Jay. A 42, that's a 42% drop in market prices.
So I just want to do, first of all, I've got the Financial Post article up here. If you can zoom in on this picture that they've used. They have used an image so old of these like 50 signs back, like everyone's selling everything, that there isn't even 604, let alone 778.
Or even
phone
Doug
numbers.
Singleton anymore.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. But calm-free real estate, private sale. I mean, come on, there's not enough stock images out there that RBC can pay for. It's the largest of the banks. But anyway, their title, post-haste, Canada's housing market headed for historic correction, worse than seen in the past 40 years.
Okay, okay.
Since I was 1, nothing worse has taken place.
Okay. The interesting thing about this is it's a little bit, so it's talking about Canada-wide, first and foremost. So as we both said a lot of times before, you can't just take 42% and think that, okay, everyone's gonna come down 42%. That's Canada-wide. Ironically though, and this is what I don't get from this article in which they're saying, and I agree with a lot of the stuff in which they're saying in there, by the way, not everything, is they're saying that Ontario and BC are gonna be hit the worst.
Yep.
If that's the case,
I think that's okay.
You would assume that means we're gonna be coming down
42%.
well, more than 42%, because that would be the average.
Fair enough.
So let's just say they're taking 42% as the highest number that it's going to come down, and they're applying it to BC. Yet further in that article, they state BC's not going to be hit as hard as historically. And historically, our worst downturn was in the 80s, where sales activity dropped 65%, and that meant on market prices, people paying for homes dropped 27%. So if it dropped 27%, but it's not going to reach our historic lows, how is it going to get anywhere near to 42%? That's what I want to know, Jay. That's what I want to know. Can you answer the question?
No, but I can caveat that with, do you agree that economists are as overpaid as weathermen? Just plain simple yes or no.
How much is an economist paid?
Too much.
Okay, well, how much?
Doesn't matter. They're trying to
What's it
convince
matter?
the world
If he's
that they
paid-
have a crystal ball, which they don't. That's the point.
If he's paid 40 grand, it's very different to if he's paid 200 grand.
No, it's not. What's a weatherman paid?
I don't know what a weather, believe it or not, I've never gone for the job as a weatherman. I'd be a sweet weatherman.
I think I'd make a damn fine weatherman.
Jesus Christ, no, you wouldn't. You'd be horrific.
I'd be the one pointing over here, and the place is over here because it's all on the green screen. Thank you for that extremely relevant question.
It was. It's not a question, it's a statement that I've made many times before that still rings true, and this is just further proof. Please continue.
I'm going to throw this out here because I don't know if you're going to agree with this. I can see prices dropping in certain areas within Greater Vancouver, definitely 30-35%.
Yeah, out in the valley, it's already what, 20 or damn close to.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, Jay, because I have a nice example for you.
That's what I'm here for, just segueing your research.
Okay. Right, so I've got a couple of properties here, and let's play a little guessing game, shall we?
I did so well at this last time.
And this is on camera, so this is why I want to...
I know you do. Okay, just before we get into that, I just want more quotes from this. RBC expects the correction to wind up in the first half of 2023, though a steeper and longer downturn can't be ruled out. There's the caveat to basically say, me, the economist, just a loose end. There's no statements, because it could carry on. I think it's ending here, but if it carries on, I'm still right. Solid demographic fundamentals, including soaring immigration, we talked about that, 500,000 a year, and low likelihood of overbuilding. Again, city competency, record low, so clearly that's not going to happen. Should keep the market from entering a death spiral. A
death spiral.
spiral.
Sounds like something from like a Marvel film, like Doctor Strange.
We're in a Marvel film.
Get the Avengers. Tony Stark to buy properties, so many of them that the market rallies. Okay, but nonetheless, and I will caveat this for the economist though, it is a science of interpretation, Jay. It is a civilized science among folk. So it's very hard to, and it's actually an interesting one because they're literally paid to interpret data, give their recommendations to people like Trudeau who says, yeah, I get that, but it's not going to look good on Instagram, so therefore we need to do this. And so, okay,
Balance budgets balance.
No, he doesn't balance budgets because he doesn't deal with monetary policy.
Forgive me if whatever he said.
It's the, forgive me if I don't think about monetary policy. Can you imagine we sold a place and someone's like, is this a good place? Forgive me if I don't actually care about how good the place is.
The levels of condescending comments that come out of him and Freeland are just...
Why do I let you do this to me? You wile me up about the government every time.
Gold.
Any moment on camera, just to vent your...
Okay.
Elon's not buying Twitter anymore, so we're on thin ice.
But he just sold 4.6 billion, I think, worth of stock in case they make him buy it. Apparently, yesterday that all got firmed up. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so taking Poco for an example. So I've got Poco and then I've got like a condo downtown, just for a mixed balance. And I think this gives a really good example. So we have in early 2022, so this sold, no, Jay.
I can't even look at the subject property you're trying to make a point on?
No, this is a guess's game, yes. So very similar sort of age, size of home, same area within Poco, Lincoln Park. One has a couple more bedrooms, another one has a different, an additional bathroom, but...
So they're totally different properties.
Oh, God, I hate you. Anyway, the first property sold...
When?
Mid-February, exactly mid-February, 15th of February, this year, for 1.463 million.
How big's the lot?
8,174.
How big's the house?
2,200 square feet.
Is it renovated?
No, pretty original condition.
70s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. 1463.
8,000 foot lot, 22.
Same area, next property, same area, same size lot, same size house, same age, same condition inside. This one has a couple more bedrooms, but one less bathroom. What do you think it's sold for mid-June?
Other one was 1.4?
1463.
Here we go.
We could be here a while, folks.
115.
It's 115.
Really?
115.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Jesus.
115. Okay. God, I've got so much space to save now. But the interesting thing is
that's 15 years of curation.
Lord being
in
educated.
the business, not to mention the foundation of my education, Lord Kitchener Elementary, Lord being secondary, the finest educational establishments, scholastic, scholar creation hubs, if you will, on the west side of our beautiful
Not heard the
Vancouver.
last 30 seconds of what you've been talking about. I'm never going to hear the end of this.
It's like a out of a movie. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
Most couldn't write it this well.
Okay, so that's a 33%. Sorry, that's not a 33%. It's a 23% difference. Okay, in price. Substantial. Now, I did say that the bedrooms and bathrooms were slightly different.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, but even if you add in, let's say 75,000, 25 grand for each for the differences, that's still a price difference of 17.8%. So almost 20%. We haven't seen the extent of what the interest rate rising is doing yet.
Let's caveat that for a second. They're meeting in September. Does that work or is that?
It's a timer actually, Jay, so no, it does not work.
Do you think September they're meeting again?
Yeah.
There's a lot of expectation that rates will be risen yet again. Do you think they will rise again or not? And if they do or don't, well, if they do you think that's going to be the last time this year?
So September, then the next one will be in November, right?
Don't
Do it every other month, I think usually. I think they're going to keep raising rates until the end of the year.
So twice more before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Because all of the conversation and the word in the grapevine that I've heard is just a discussion of whether it's going to be 0.75 or 0.5. And obviously our inflation is still soaring. The government just did that Inflation Act, so they're
That was in the States.
they're doing they're doing another one here.
Which one?
That's that like trying to tackle inflation. Hang on. Trusty phone here.
Because the 80 billion in the U.S.
That's the U.S.
the Inflation Act, which is hiring more IRS workers to chase more tax.
Yeah.
God, they get screwed over down there. Toss another 80 billion of debt on the balance sheets to fight inflation, boys and girls. Here we go.
Of course, naturally, it's all about the US. And then one random thing about Justin Trudeau looking like Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. God, I can't find it, so I'm going to have to work that one out. Anyway, the government's still spending money. Our inflation rate is still very high, although interestingly, the US inflation amount did just slightly dip from its peak. So there's still a ways to go, and that's why I think it's still going, they're still going to increase interest rates, because they've already said from the get-go, we want to go high so that when things do inevitably plane crash on the floor, we've got more room and more playing area for that gentle landing,
soft landing
that they keep talking about. So yes, I do think they're going to keep going up. And obviously real estate doesn't work that way. We're delayed, people have pre-approvals, so we've not even seen the full extent. So I can see more coming down for sure out in the Fraser Valley. But interestingly enough though, Jay, let's take a trip west into the downtown Vancouver condo market. Now that one was a house, so I decided to just go with like an entry-level condo. So the old 550 Taylor Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 deals in there.
The Jailer.
It's a good building. It's a
good building, but it's just a bad name.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Okay, so same sort of thing. At the start of the year, we had just a one bedroom, 575 square feet, 12th floor, one bed, one bath, looking out over the False Creek.
So to the south, so it
Water
cooks
there.
in the summer, yeah.
That sold for $625,000.
Yeah.
And no, it didn't. That sold for 633. No, that one. I've messed this right up. Damn it! I gave you the wrong
Two
one
numbers.
first.
Is it that hard? Two goddamn numbers.
Anyway, let me correct myself. This is not a guessing game anymore. So this one sold start of July. No, it didn't. Oh my god!
Do you want me to do it?
No. I've got it now. 625,000. This one sold at the start of February. One bed, one bath, as I mentioned. Same
625.
625.
February.
Yes.
Okay.
Same floor plan, but 3 floors up. Same size, same view, everything, same exposure. What do you think it sold for mid-July? The reason why I got it mixed up is because you Canadians do your dates and your days
Stop, it
backwards and the
says
wrong way round.
July 15, 2022.
No, it doesn't. Anyway, what do you think it sold for? Pretty much exactly the same one, but on the 15th floor. 3 floors higher. And obviously in July, not in February.
Still over 600.
Well, thank you for that narrowed down guess.
Well, the other one's 630.
625.
607.
633.
Oh wow. More.
So for those watching,
for the agent.
usually about 5,000 a floor. So if you add 3 floors, that's 15,000 to the previous one, which would take you to about 640. But obviously you thought the market had changed, the market has slowed down. That's not actually the case. Plenty of examples like this. I had another look at another good friend of ours in terms of the building, McInnes, 688 Abbott. 30th floor versus a 31st floor, exactly the same unit, literally one stacked above another. And early part of the year it sold for 998,000, and another one sold just recently for $1,038,000.
Really?
Yeah. So and
sorry, keep going.
this is why like the blanket of 42% or something like that is completely different, because not every market is doing the same thing, and clearly downtown condos are doing very, very differently than Fraser Valley houses.
Yes, that's correct. I fully agree. That McInnes one, however, could have, because it's obviously one of the favored Airbnb buildings in the city.
That's why I went with the Taylor.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot more leverage on that collection, because when all this craziness is going on, people want cash flow and return faster, and to be able to Airbnb it will help. So I think now a lot of people know that that's kind of one of whatever it is, 10 or 15 buildings or something, maybe not even that many now, that allow Airbnb. So I think that's going to have an extra weight on buyers. I was looking at this Airbnb Air DNA website. I think it's like stats about Airbnb and what's going on and all this sort of stuff. And if you look at Vancouver, like the absolute bulk is Hispana and McInnes.
Oh, of course.
Like huge, which was interesting. So yeah, that's not surprising.
And I think it's a good investment. Like I've sold people into that unit, sold their units and helped buy people in their units. And I know people have given up their jobs because of the Airbnb side. I've got a friend who did it, and he's just come back from Mongolia. After like touring all the way around Europe and Dubai and everything as well. So
Airbnb.
Living the dream. That's why I went with the Taylor, just because it's standard building, like you said, standard B grade building. It's not Airbnb, so it's not tainted and swayed. But ironically enough though, apparently 33% of property owned in BC and Ontario is owned by investors. And ever since 2016, a huge majority of new construction is purchased by investors and not by developers and not by end users themselves.
The market is going to say that shouldn't be allowed, because it's taking, the assumption is that if those people didn't buy that, prices would be cheaper, and it's taking units out of the market.
Does that work, Jay? Or is that personal? Huh?
That's Morgan Brown.
Damn it, my phone's going off in the same.
And that's the same, anyway. Yeah, but obviously those people are creating rentals.
Yeah.
So I think that's fine, and you see a lot of this like, oh, minimize investment and blah, 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 but I think we need it, so I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think it should be higher. Okay.
I do agree with, obviously, that this is more of a correction as opposed to a crash.
What is a crash?
So the way I look at a crash is,
What's
like,
your number for a crash?
well, and that's the thing, like there's the way of looking at it in terms of like the economic climate versus, okay, when we reach a certain
Number,
is
what's
it
the
a
number?
crash? I don't know, I think I look at it more at the economic climate. If we had hit like a recession, like, and everything happened and everything hit the fan like in 2008 and it was forcing prices down, then
By how much?
it was forcing prices down, then that's a crash. That's a crash. Okay? You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. And then this
I will not answer that question. bullshit.
I'm going for politics. I'm getting pretty good at it. But no, the reason why I think it's more of a correction is just because, as we've discussed, the access to money was so cheap beforehand. Obviously,
That's why
demand was
it went up.
through
Nothing
the
to do
roof.
with inventory.
Supply wasn't there as well. So it's just all of this like mecca of circumstances coming
That's already
together.
been debunked 2 weeks ago.
And now, this is my argument with you. They're not mutually exclusive. It's more of a chain reaction. It's not, oh, this is the case, so it can't be this.
That's exactly what it was.
No, that's not it. You refuse to.
Because I'm right.
I'm not going to let you. No, I'm not going to let you do
100% it was.
I'm not going to nibble while you fish.
That's fine.
Anyway, now things have calmed down and things have settled down. We're getting back to more historic activity. We're getting back to more calm waters. And with that, because there isn't a demand there, that's why we're seeing the adjustment in prices. Look, for example, like what's happening with downtown with the Taylor example. That's not a correction. Sorry, that's not like an implosion of the market.
What number would you consider an implosion of the market? They're saying 42%, and they're saying
I don't think it's done by number.
40. I think you're wrong. 42% is apparently not a death spiral. So I want to know what their. And again, while RBC economists are predicting a historic correction from words from the goddamn horse's mouth over here, they do not see a collapse. So if 42% is a historic correction, is 45% and more collapse? And we're going to assume that's what they mean. What do you mean?
I mean, I think real estate is just adjusting based on natural events. And that's why I believe that it's a correction and I don't believe that it's a collapse. I.e., as in it's forced due to like a recession or something like that. I think it's just a correction because all of the hype and everything that was happening from COVID has now settled down. And it's now correcting.
I think that's a completely bullshit politician.
Tell me how you really feel. Tell me how you really
Collapse is more than 50%. That's it. Anything else is a severe. 25% correction. 25 to 50, severe correction. Over 50, collapse.
As the king of analogies.
That's it. Plain and simple.
If
people understand what I mean, no one knows what the hell you're talking about.
As the king of analogies, it's the same as if I were to go down and lay on the ground, I could either like stand up, put one knee down, put the other knee down, gently lie on the ground. That's a correction, as opposed to tripping and face first into the ground. One's a gentle correction of, oh, okay, this is where I'm going to go and this is how I get there. The other is, oh God, this is how I'm getting there.
No, because the result is the asset value has decreased this much.
I'm not arguing the result. I'm just arguing of the current circumstances and climate.
That's where you're getting clouded. You don't even understand how to
You
answer
have
the question.
no idea.
Okay, until next week, thank you. I think that's clear. RBC sees 42%. It doesn't really make sense. You don't know what a collapse means, and we will see you in a week.
See you next week, guys.
Is it that goddamn hard? What? Pick a number.
I don't want to pick a number.
Why?
Because
what are you scared of?
It's not based on a number.
This happened. Oh my God, that happened. RBC imploded, and the goddamn interest rates went to 20, and property prices lost 50% of value overnight. Okay. There was a slow recession, and 3 months later, after job layoffs, there was a 50% reduction in asset values.
Why do I all of a sudden talk like this now as well?
It doesn't matter. It's what the whole point is. What has happened? Yes, they got us to the state of collapse, which is X percentage off my goddamn property price.
No.
How is that so hard to believe?
Because I think the circumstances that surround the market, if you want to go out and buy and sell, it's still happening. It's still taking place right now. It's just.
But are you selling at $1 million or 500 because it's collapsed or not?
Well, you can't really say a collapse because Fraser Valley is collapsing in your definition, yet downtown is not.
Extreme adjustment. Yes.
No, it's a correction.
25, not even. That was what, 23%?
It's
correction.
It's not a hostile. It's not a
even-
hostile circumstance. No,
It's not.
No.
I think the people that own those homes that care about their asset value would
Facts
disagree
don't-
that it's a
facts-
hostile.
Facts don't care about your feelings. Facts don't care about feelings. Okay, so just because you feel,
been
oh, this
watching
is
too much
this
political
is
TV.
this is horrible. This is horrible. My market value is going down. Well, yes, it is. But what did you expect? You just purchased in the very peak of the market. It was always going to slow, and it's now naturally slowing down and coming to a gentle.
No one gives two shits
Just
about the
gently slithering in.
bureaucracy around pricing. All they care about is what did I buy it at? What can I sell it at?
I agree with you on that.
So, what would you consider a collapsed price, percentage-wise?
Economic circumstances forcing the price downwards.
You're a fucking retard.
I hate you. I literally can't state how much.
Because you're wrong.
I can't state how much I hate you.